Shikamaru, you can let me go now. I wasn't going to hurt your friend here. Also, tell Shino, Neji, and Tenten that they can come out now. Soon enough, Neji, Shino, Tenten, and Shikamaru came into view. They lifted up their masks so I could see their faces. Shikamaru released the Shadow Possession Jutsu. I decided to speak to the ninja I was behind. You can remove your mask as well, Ino. She complied. Yumi and her mother came from the house to see if I was okay. Shikamaru spoke. Lady Tsunade had asked us to track you down. I told her how troublesome it would be, but she had insisted that we find you. Neji stepped forth to speak. Naruto, Lady Tsunade has requested that you return back with us to Konoha. I looked at Neji and laughed. She requests that I come back. Tell her I'm no longer a shinobi of the leaf, and I'm not obligated to do as she says. Ino decided to speak. Naruto, she asked us to bring you back. Please come back with us. Tell me, Ino, what could she want from me? She didn't want anything the past 6 years. Why now, all of a sudden? Shino spoke in his usual tone. Naruto Uzumaki. The fifth wishes for you to assist us in this war with the cloud. I walked past the ninjas from Konoha and headed to the doorway towards my fiancée, who was looking worried. I stopped and spoke, instead of trying to get me to fight Konoha's battle. You should be preparing for attacks from the cloud ninja. Tell Granny that I said good luck defeating the cloud. Naruto, how could you turn your back on your home? It's your duty to protect the leaf, Tenten said desperately. It's not my home. It never was. That place was hell to me. I was hated by every villager in that village. I was also banished by the council. So tell me, Tenten, would you consider a place that exiled you a home? There was complete silence. I thought so. Tell Granny that the only way I will fight for Konoha is if she's willing to pay for my services. My going rate isn't cheap though. Tell her I want 70 million Ryu for my services and an additional 20 million bonus. Take that offer to her and come back to let me know her decision. That's an outrageous figure, Naruto, Ino stated. Well, I told you I don't come cheap. I'm sure the cloud will have no problem paying the bill. Shikamaru sighed. If that's all you request, then pack your things, Naruto. We want to get back to Konoha ASAP. Ino spoke. Shikamaru, you can't be serious. That is too much money for... Neji interrupted. Well, Lady Tsunade did say no matter what it took. Did you actually think that's what she meant, Neji? Asked Tenten incredulously. Our mission states that we bring Naruto Uzumaki back with us to Konoha. After that, it's no longer our responsibility, Shino stated. Shikamaru looked at Naruto. So, are you coming or what? Naruto fixed his gaze on Shikamaru. On one more condition. What is it now that you demand? Ino spat out. Naruto turned to the door, where his fiancée and mother-in-law-to-be were standing. They come with me. When word gets out that I'm fighting on Konoha's side, the cloud will send ninjas to use them as bait against me, at least in the leaf. I know that they will be safe. Shikamaru thought to himself. What a troublesome guy. After closing his eyes and reopening, he spoke. Fine, as long as you're coming, I could care less about who you bring with you. Naruto gave the group a large grin. Then, it's settled. We'll depart in 2 hours. He walked towards Yumi. She had a sad look in her eyes. Truth be told, Yumi didn't want Naruto to be a ninja anymore for fear of losing him. Even so, she knew he was a ninja through and through, and she respected it. He placed his hand gently on her face, pulling it up so his eyes couldn't meet hers. Don't worry, nothing will happen to me. That I can promise. Come on, we have to pack our stuff so we can get out of here. With that said, they broke free from each other's embrace and headed into the house. Yumi's mother invited the other ninjas into the house. After 2 hours had passed, everyone was now ready to head out. Naruto was dressed in a black short-sleeved shirt with black sweatpants to match. He wore bandages around his shin the way Kakashi did. He also had on black ninja sandals. His sword was placed on his back. The sword was eloquent. One couldn't see the blade, but judging by the black and gold handle and the black case with the golden fox carved on it, it was safe to say that the sword could cut through almost anything. He got the sword from Ryuho Minashu, the head of the samurai clan who had taught him personally. Yumi was wearing a brown long-sleeve shirt and beige pants. Her sandals matched the color of her shirt. Mai had on a long blue sleeve shirt, black pants, and black sandals much like Naruto's. Naruto put Yumi on his back, while Neji carried Yumi's mother. The other three carried the small book bags that the three residents of the Sun Country had packed. In a matter of seconds, they took to the trees. It would only take an hour to reach the docks, where a ship was waiting to escort them to Konoha, where it would take about 2 hours to arrive there. 3 hours later, in Konoha, in the Hokage Tower, behind the desk of the Hokage office, sat a 56-year-old blonde woman, who could pass for 20 doing paperwork. With a war going on and missions to complete, she was exhausted. She was trying to find ways to end this war. She tried presenting a treaty to the Raikage, but the young prick didn't want a treaty. For the last 8 months, the war went on, with no side gaining an upper ground. She honestly didn't know what the war was for, but she believed that the young Raikage just wanted to prove his country was stronger than the leaf. She felt that there were better ways to go about doing this, but it was his village after all. She ran hers, and that was all that mattered. Sitting with her right arm holding up her head, Tsunade looked at the door when her assistant came in. "Lady Tsunade, Shikamaru's team has returned with Naruto. They're in the waiting room," Shizune stated. Shizune sent them in. Shikamaru and the rest of his team entered with Naruto, and 2 people she didn't recognize. When she saw Naruto, she was trying to hold back her tears. She kept them from falling, and she began to speak. "Naruto, I'm glad that you could make it. I thought that you were going to turn down my request," she said with happiness in her voice. "I did turn down your request. The only reason I'm here is because you're paying for my services," he responded, one of her eyebrows slightly elevated. "Paying for your services? So you're not doing this to help the leaf?" she questioned. Naruto gave her a smirk. "Tsunade, do you really think that I would fight for this village after what they did to me? No, I'm not here to protect your village. I'm here because of the 90 million Ryu I'm being paid for my services." She felt a pain in her heart when he said her name instead of Granny. She knew then that the relationship had changed. She blamed herself for that. She got mad at the fact that he was fighting only for money. She responded in an angry tone. "So, you only fight for money now? Whatever happened to the kid that fought to protect his precious people? Did you forget about that or what?" He smiled at her, then placed his arms around Yumi. "I do fight for my precious people. That never has and never will change. However, there is no one here in Konoha that is precious to me, so there is no reason whatsoever to fight for anyone here. If you're not willing to pay for my services, then I will leave and return to my life. So, what's it gonna be?" Tsunade sighed. "Very well then, before we can pay for your services, you must be brought before the council so they can approve of it. Neji, would you escort Naruto's guest to the hotel?" "Naruto, follow me." Naruto kissed his girl. "I'll see you as soon as I'm done, okay?" Yumi nodded her head in agreement. Exiting the office, Mai and Yumi followed behind Neji while Naruto and Tsunade headed to the council room. Tsunade started a conversation with the man who was an inch or 2 shorter than Jiraiya. "So tell me, Naruto, who are those 2 back there? My fiancée and her mother." Judging by the tone in his voice, she could clearly see that he didn't really want to talk. She still decided to get some answers about the girl and what he did during the last 6 years. She knew he was strong. Just mentioning his name in the rock, rain, mist, and grass caused panic. The man who stood next to her was arguably the most feared ninja in the world. She spoke once more. "Naruto, how did you guys meet?" Naruto, who never even looked at her. "I'm touched that you want to know about my life, but I really don't feel the need to tell you." She hadn't expected Naruto to be this cold. She knew that there was a chance that he would despise her in this village for what transpired 6 years ago, but she was hoping he didn't. Deep inside, she was hoping that he would be happy to return. but she knew that it would only be in her fantasy. After a minute of walking, they finally reached the council room in the Hokage Tower. Inside the big room was a long square table that sat 14. The room was like a cave in the sense that the light only illuminated enough for one to see everything in their surroundings. On the walls were pictures. Naruto recognized that some were the Hokages of the past. Tsunade motioned for him to sit. She walked to the other end of the room and took her seat, which faced Naruto's. There were 12 other members seated. The order was as followed. On Naruto's left, Inoichi Yamanaka was seated at the first seat. Shikaku Nara was seated at the second. Shaosua Akimichi, the third seat. Shibi Aburame was seated in the fourth seat. And Wei Jin was seated in the fifth seat. On Naruto's right, Sume Inuzuka was seated in their first seat. Yashi Hyuga was seated in the second seat. Tsuki Hawaidu was in the third seat. Koi Karai was seated in the fourth seat. And Waga Kataki was seated in the fifth seat. At the head of the council table, Amara Mitokado sat on Tsunade's right, while Koharu Utatane sat on her left. Tsunade was the first to speak. Naruto, do you know why we had asked you to return to Konoha? Naruto folded his arms and looked away. I'm here because the shinobi of the leaf are weak, and you need me to save their asses. Everyone in the room, with the exception of Tsunade, narrowed their eyes at Naruto. She just let out a sigh at his comments. Koharu spoke next. Naruto Uzumaki, you will show respect while you are in the presence of the council. It's true that your assistance is needed, but you will show some respect. Naruto looked at the old woman and smiled. You talk to me as if I'm one of your shinobi. I don't have to show any of you any respect. You guys want my help, not the other way around. And besides, respect is earned, not given away so freely. Koharu was angry. She was about to say something when Hiyashi decided to make comment. We have very competent ninjas. We thought that you would love the opportunity that we had decided to present to you. Naruto looked at Hiyashi curiously. Oh, what opportunity are you talking about? To become a shinobi of the leaf again, Tsunade said proudly. Naruto looked at Tsunade. So that's the opportunity that the Hyuga was talking about. Wow, I really don't know what to say, Naruto replied with a hint of sarcasm. The council members did not catch it. Suki, a middle-aged woman with white-green hair and brown eyes, looked at the QB container with a smile. You don't have to say anything. We will reinstate you as a leaf shinobi and promote you to Jonin. Seeing as you're ranked and as an S-class ninja in the bingo book, it wouldn't be a problem to do so. You get to enjoy life in Konoha like you did before you left. Naruto looked at Suki like he was about to cry with joy. I just want to say... Everyone in the council was smiling. They knew the boy would fight for them as long as they offered him the chance to return home. There was no way he was going to turn down this offer. On the other hand, Tsunade wasn't fooled by Naruto's act for a minute. She looked at Naruto and knew what was coming. When hell freezes over, the council gasped in shock. They soon narrowed their eyes at the blonde. You kicked me out because you said I was the reason why everyone got injured in the mission to rescue Sasuke, and it was also my fault for his defection. I'm sure we all know why you really banished me, but I'm not going to get into that. As for being a shinobi of Konoha, thanks, but no thanks. Inoichi spoke up. Naruto, be reasonable. What about your dream? Being a Konoha ninja, you would once again have the chance to become Hokage. That dream died the day I was left to rot by this village. That day was also the birth of a new dream. And what was that dream? Tsunade questioned. To become the strongest ninja in the world. Since that is no longer a dream, and is now a reality, I really have no more dreams to pursue. There was laughter around the table from council members. Waga Kataki, an old man with gray hair, black eyes, and a scar on his cheek, made a comment. You may be powerful, kid, but you're not the strongest ninja in the world. Tsunade and Jiraiya are still the best ninjas around. Just because you have that fox to draw power off of doesn't make you the strongest. Hiyashi spoke. That's borrowed strength. Don't sit there and get cocky, kid. Who said anything about using the QB? Yes, it's true that I can draw his power, but I haven't drawn his power ever since I was 12. I say I'm the strongest because I know what I'm capable of, even without the fox's power. All of you, on the other hand, have no idea. Tsunade ended their squabble. Naruto doesn't really want to become a ninja of Konoha. Although it saddens me, I respect his wishes. For his services, he asked for a fee of 90 million Ryu. Homura Mitokado was outraged. You will not be bullied by some brat. This is an outrageous demand, Tsunade. The vein on Tsunade's head started to bulge. Not another word, Homura. Although this is an outrageous demand, we did ask him for his help. Besides, Naruto's allegiance to Konoha and his reputation might get the Rain to force the Cloud to sign a treaty of neutrality. The council knew she was right. It was no doubt that Naruto was feared throughout the Rain, who was allied with the Cloud in this war. They knew this was the reason Tsunade suggested that they offer Naruto to become a shinobi again. She also had feelings for the boy as well. Tsunade spoke once more, all in favor for paying of the services of Naruto Uzumaki. Everyone raised their hand. Tsunade smiled. Well, Naruto, we held up our end, so it's time you held up yours. We will discuss the payment plan at a later date. You are to report to my office at 9 a.m. tomorrow, where you will be placed on a team with Junins and Jonins. Tell me who I'm working with and what the mission is. I'd rather know now. Well, you're teaming up with 4 Chunins and 2 Jonins for this mission, Tsunade replied. I asked who they were, not their ranks. For the sake of this mission, I need to know who they are and their capabilities. Tsunade leant back in her chair and spoke. Very well. The members of your team will be Konohamaru Sarutobi, Udon, Hanabi Hyuga, Hinata Hyuga, Sakura Haruno, and Sasuke Uchiha, acting as squad leader. Naruto stroked his chin. Why are there 2 Hyugas? Honestly, I think one's enough. Hinata and my option should be adequate for this mission. The other Hyuga isn't really needed. Hiyashi's anger was visible to everyone in the council. They all knew how highly he thought of Hanabi, and for Naruto to say that he preferred Hinata over Hanabi was crazy. Hiyashi spoke. Hanabi is the best that Hyuga has to offer. If anything, Hinata is the one not needed on this mission. She is weak. If you're going to suggest a Hyuga, never suggest the weakest of them all. Naruto shook his head in agreement. You're right. Hiyashi smiled at the boy. Naruto returned the smile, then spoke again. Since Neji is clearly the strongest Hyuga, why not have him replace them both? Shikaku actually smiled at Naruto's comment. He knew Naruto was getting under the skin of Hiyashi. He also was glad that he knocked him down a peg by stating that Neji, a member of the branch house, was stronger than the heir of the main house. Tsunade wanted to laugh, but decided to continue. Naruto, both Hyugas are capable. Neji isn't on this team because I need his presence elsewhere. This team I've selected is perfect for the mission at hand. Okay, please inform me of their skills, Naruto replied. Konohamaru's taijutsu is superb. His ninjutsu is a little above average, and his genjutsu is mediocre. Udon is the strategist of the team. You've worked with Shikamaru. Udon is the next best thing. All of his other skills are mediocre. Udon may be good, but I would trust a plan developed by Shikamaru with my life. Anyway, please continue. Right, Hinabi is arguably the best Chunin in the village. Her taijutsu skills are superb, and her ability to see through genjutsu as well. Hinata is basically the same as Hinabi, but Hinabi's taijutsu is slightly better. Sakura is the medic of the team. She will not try to fight, but don't worry about protecting her. I've trained her so she is more than capable of handling herself. Sasuke is probably the best ninja in the village. Sasuke isn't really lacking in any skills. Okay, I think that's good enough. Chausa finally decided to speak. You know all of their skills, but nobody really knows yours. Tsunade looked at the big boned man, then back at Naruto. So Naruto, what are your skills? Naruto stroked his chin again. Well, my taijutsu, in my opinion, is second to none. My genjutsu is excellent, and although I'm not a master at genjutsu, I am exceptional in it. And my kenjutsu is only second to one. Tsunade looked at Naruto. She wanted to question him more, but she wouldn't get the answers she wanted, so she decided to end the meeting. This meeting is over. Naruto, report to my office at 9 AM. I will tell you the mission overview then. Naruto got up and left the council room. Naruto exited the building and decided to head over to the hotel where his fiancée and her mother were. However, he smelled something that he hadn't smelled or eaten in a long time. Ichiraku ramen. Naruto walked in and took a seat. The old man who ran the shop was behind the counter cooking. He heard the person come in. He didn't turn around to greet the person. "Welcome to Ichiraku. How may I help you?" Naruto spoke. "Old man, you can start by getting your number one customer a big bowl of miso ramen." The old man turned around once he heard the guy say he was his number one customer. When he saw the blonde sitting there, he was excited with joy. "Is that you, Naruto? It's so good to see you. This place wasn't the same without you." "Well, I had no control of that, but I'm here now, and I haven't had a good bowl of ramen in 6 years. Well, don't worry, this one is on the house. I'm just glad you're back," the old man said. Naruto just smiled at the old man. He was happy to be back at the stand. This place was his safe haven while living in the village. Naruto looked all over the shop, but couldn't find what he was looking for. "Hey, where is Ayame?" "Looking for me?" Naruto turned to where he heard the voice. He saw Ayame by the door, which led to the storage at the back of the shop, in her apron. She really didn't change all that much in his opinion. If anything, she looked better than what he remembered. "Ayame, it's so good to see you. I've really missed you and the old man." Ayame smiled. "I missed you too, Naruto. Anyway, what brings you back into town?" Naruto's face became serious. "Just business. I don't know how long I will be here, but I'm leaving when my job is complete." "That's too bad. Father and I really missed you." "Well, Naruto, I have a lot of work to do, but come by the shop again so we can catch up, okay?" Naruto smiled at the girl. "Will do. See you later, Naruto." She waved and headed back to the storage area at the back of the shop. Later, Ayame. While Naruto was chowing down, the old man leaned on the counter. "She's right, you know. Things haven't been the same since you left. I heard what happened. If there's anything that I could have done." He cut the old man off. "Don't worry about it. I know you would have. Well, I have to go. Thanks for the meal." Naruto got up from the chair and headed to the hotel. As he walked, he could see the people staring at him. Not the same cold stares. Those stares were out of curiousness. He figured it wouldn't be long till word got out about him. Naruto stopped and looked at the hotel. He'd finally arrived. After asking the receptionist what room Yumi and Mai was in, he headed to the room. Mai was in the room next to Yumi. Naruto knocked on the door to Yumi's room. At the door stood the prettiest woman he would ever see. "Hey, sweetie." She embraced him in a hug. After they broke away, they entered the room. Yumi decided to speak. "Naruto, are you okay? I was so worried about you." "I'm fine. Anyway, what did you do in the hour that I was gone?" Yumi walked to the bed and sat down. "Not much really. I was waiting for you to come back so that you could show me around. I mean, if that's okay with you." She knew Naruto's history, so she didn't want to force him into showing her around. Naruto, who was leaning against the wall, walked up and sat next to Yumi. "Okay, I'll show you around if that's what you want. Besides, there's one person I want you to meet." She looked at him with a questionable look. "Who might this person be?" "Ichiraku-sensei. I haven't seen him in a while, and I want you to meet him." She smiled. "Sure, but can we go before it gets dark?" "What about your mother? Maybe she wants to come with," Naruto asked. She asked the guy with the white eyes to show her to the bathhouse, but the girl with the blonde hair volunteered. Naruto knew that she was talking about Ino. He knew Ino wouldn't pass up on this opportunity to try and get Mai to tell her about himself. Naruto didn't worry about it. Mai didn't know what he did prior to meeting her and Yumi. Ino was fishing in a pond with no fish. He laughed in his head, knowing that the girl would be mad when she didn't get the information she wanted. The couple exited the hotel and was walking through the busy village. Naruto grabbed Yumi's hand while they walked down the street. Naruto felt he was being watched. Judging by the stealth of the person, he knew that it was his old Jonin instructor. He stopped. Yumi got curious, then looked at Naruto. Naruto, why did we stop? Is something wrong? Naruto looked down at the woman who was a head shorter than him. No, nothing's wrong. We're just being followed, but don't worry, we're not in any danger. With that, Naruto turned to face straight ahead. Kakashi, Asuma, Kurenai, and Guy, you can all come out now. Asuma appeared directly in front of Naruto. Guy appeared on Yumi's left, Kurenai on Naruto's right, and Kakashi was lying in the tree pretending to read his book. Yo, Naruto. Kakashi folded his book and appeared next to Asuma. What do you want, Kakashi? Kakashi had expected that from Naruto. Kurenai was looking in awe at how much Naruto had grown. She thought if he was a couple of years older and she wasn't seeing Asuma, she would consider dating him. Guy spoke in his usual manner. Naruto, it's so good to see you again. Are you enjoying your springtime of youth? It's good to have you as a leaf ninja again. Naruto looked at Guy with a serious leaf. I'm not a leaf shinobi. Asuma responded in shock. What? I thought that they reinstated you. Naruto turned to Asuma. They wanted to reinstate me, but I declined. Why would you do that, Naruto? Kurenai asked. Do you actually think that I would want to be a shinobi of this village after what happened 6 years ago? I'm not fighting for this village out of love or loyalty. I'm only here to fulfill my end of a deal. Kakashi spoke. So, what is the deal that has brought you back here? I'm being paid 90 million Ryu for my services. After the job is done, I'm leaving this place, he said in disgust. Kurenai was shocked that he was being paid that much, but more shocked that the council had approved. Naruto was getting annoyed, to say the very least. Kakashi, if you don't want anything, please leave me alone. Kakashi looked at Naruto, then he looked at the girl who was holding onto his left arm. Naruto, who's your friend? This is Yumi, my fiancée. Kurenai looked at the girl. She knew her former student was going to be crushed when she found out that Naruto was engaged. She knew how much the girl cared for Naruto, and how hurt and depressed she was when he left. Kurenai remembered it had taken the girl almost a year to get out of her depression. God gave Naruto the nice guy pose. Naruto, you have chosen a beautiful flower to share the springtime of youth with. Thanks, Guy, Naruto replied with a clueless expression. Asuma spoke. Naruto, you made quite a name for yourself. You asked Kakashi what we wanted. Well, the reason we're here is, Naruto interjected. You're here to measure my skills. I knew that Tsunade would send somebody to test my skills. No matter, you guys won't see much. I don't intend to break a sweat. Kakashi looked at Naruto with wonder. He wondered if Naruto really came so far that he could dispatch 4 of Konoha's elites. Asuma broke his concentration. I don't think we'll be that easy to beat, Naruto replied. Alright, let's get this over with, okay? I promised Yumi that I'd show her around. Kakashi decided to speak. Meet us at Team 7 former training ground. With that, all 4 Jonin vanished. Naruto looked at Yumi. Walk around and have fun. I'll find you when I'm done. How long do you think you're going to be? 5-10 minutes tops, Naruto replied. Okay, but you better be back by that time. You know how I hate it when you're late, right? Yumi glared dangerously at Naruto. The blonde warrior gulped. He would rather face an army of Hokage than face an upset Yumi. Don't worry, I'll be back within the time. I promise. He kissed her cheek and was off. She looked at the town to see so many shops. She decided to walk until she saw a clothes shop. Team 7 training ground. Naruto appeared a minute after Kakashi, Kurenai, Asuma, and Guy did. Naruto was standing in the middle while being surrounded by the 4 Jonins. Kakashi lifted up his headband to reveal his Sharingan. Guy took a fighting stance. Kurenai did the same. Asuma pulled out his knuckle knives. Kakashi and Guy were standing in front of him, while Kurenai and Asuma stood behind him. Kurenai started off by creating an illusion. Naruto was impressed, to say the least. Everyone disappeared from view. All he saw was a barren wasteland, devoid of anything. He knew his eyes were deceiving him, so he pulled a black cloth out of his pocket and covered his eyes. Kurenai took to the trees after her jutsu took effect. She was watching and wondered why he did that. She then realized he was blocking its vision. She didn't believe he could beat the illusion by doing this. She knew better than anyone that the illusion also messes with your hearing and sense of smell as well. The only other people that could defeat this genjutsu were Uchihas, Hyugas, and people who were masters of genjutsus. Naruto was impressed, but he knew that this was no ordinary genjutsu. He knew that everything that he smelled and heard were distractions from his real targets. But as good of a genjutsu as this was, Naruto knew this wouldn't work on him. He decided who would be the first one he would take out. Naruto vanished from everyone's sight. Kakashi realized where Naruto went. His eyes went wide. He looked at the tree Kurenai was in. "Kurenai, watch out!" She turned her head to face the person behind her. Black and gold would be the last thing she would see. Naruto hit her in the back of her neck. He placed his sword back on his back. He then grabbed her and leapt down to the ground, where they were still watching. He laid her down in the middle of the field. That genjutsu was one of the strongest I've ever faced, but no genjutsu will be effective against me. I may not be that good at performing them, but I mastered a way to counter all of them. Since the nuisance is out of the way, let us continue. Naruto took out the blindfold. Asuma was shocked that Naruto had broken Kurenai's strongest genjutsu. How the hell did you break it? No one with the exception of the Uchiha and the Hyuga could break that jutsu. Naruto looked at Asuma. Your eyes aren't the only thing to see with. There's one thing that a ninja can't mask, no matter what, and that is their chakra signature. I knew where you all were at because I could sense your chakra. So now that you know how I broke it, care to continue? Kakashi formed hand seals. He then shouted, "Fire style, Phoenix Flower Jutsu." Naruto flipped out of the way of the fireballs that were heading his way. He jumped onto a tree only to find Asuma beside him. Asuma threw a kick with his left leg. Naruto side flipped out of the tree onto the training ground. Guy appeared on his right. He threw a punch that Naruto ducked under. But before Naruto could counter, he saw two kunais heading in his direction from his left. The kunai hit him dead on. Guy jumped back after seeing Naruto was hit. "It's over, Naruto." Naruto looked up at Guy and smirked. "Sorry, Guy, but I'm not the real one." The clone then pooped out of existence. Kakashi, who had thrown the kunai, had his eyes widened when he realized what Naruto had done. If anyone could see under his mask, they would have seen him smiling. All Guy saw was Asuma falling out of the tree. He was clearly out cold. Naruto landed next to Asuma. And then there was two. But before we continue, Guy, could you take off your weights? I would like to fight you at your fullest. Guy gave Naruto the nice guy pose. Since you asked so nicely, I'll do so. Guy took off the rest of his weights. Kakashi appeared next to Guy. He whispered so Naruto couldn't hear the two. "Listen, Guy, he's better than I expected him to be. Keep your guard up." Guy shook his head. He dashed off to face Naruto. Guy threw a kick with his right foot. Naruto blocked. Guy was moving so fast that Naruto found himself on the defensive. He knew Guy was fast, but this was incredible. Naruto blocked a punch, but he wasn't so lucky with the next punch. "Naruto, my taijutsu is superior to yours, but I will say that you are extremely talented. However, you lack the speed." Naruto smirked. "Then, let's say I get rid of my ankle weights. I'll get rid of the rest, but judging by your speed without your weights, that will be necessary." Naruto took off the sticker scrolls that were taped on the side of his sandals. He could look at Guy before blurring out of his sight. He appeared in front of Guy with his hand plated in the man's stomach. Guy looked in shock before he fell over, clutching his stomach. Naruto then turned his attention to Kakashi. Kakashi and Naruto took to the air. Kakashi threw a punch which Naruto blocked with ease, and he flipped over Kakashi's punch, landing in front of a tree. As soon as the copy ninja landed, he threw at least 7 shuriken. Naruto dodged them all. The white-haired ninja was expecting him to, for Naruto wasn't his real target. Naruto realized his mistake, but the wires wrapped around him, pinning him to the tree. Kakashi walked up to Naruto. "You did well, but you failed to look underneath the underneath." Naruto just looked at Kakashi. "No, I did, but maybe you should." Naruto turned into a log of wood. A pair of hands broke through the ground and grabbed his feet. Before he could move, he felt the blade of a sword pressed against his throat. "This is over, Kakashi. You all lose." If this was a real mission, you would all be dead. Kakashi was shocked, to say the least. When did you make a clone? When I saw you throwing the shuriken, I used substitution. Then I made a clone to grab you from underneath. And that was all the time I needed to get behind you. Naruto placed the sword back in its holster. Kakashi turned around to face him. You've gotten better. I heard the rumors and assumed you were good, but I didn't expect you to be this good. Well, I've been training my ass off since I left here. Anyway, as fun as it was to beat all of you guys in it, Naruto looked at his wrist. Watch. 7-minute span. I really have to get back to Yumi. Later. With that, Naruto disappeared. On a nearby tree, Tsunade watched the whole thing in awe. She had just witnessed Naruto dispatch 4 of Konoha's elite Jonin without even breaking a sweat. She spoke out loud to no one in particular. How did he get so strong? He has trained himself beyond human limits. She looked over to her right to see a man she hadn't seen in approximately 6 years. The only word that she could utter was Jiraiya.